Interview with Roseanne Barr. Do you think there are other people inside you with multiple personalities that actually speak and you don't even recognize it?
No, not anymore. I'm fully
How long
integrated.
Is that? You're fully integrated?
I fully integrated, and I was fully integrated at Stanford University about 12 years ago.
Was it a medicine that transformed your life?
No, it's therapy.
Therapy?
Like 20 years of it.
Look, you've had a lot of controversy.
I've done the work, though. I just have to pat myself on the back there. I wanted to get better. And this all happened to me when I was pregnant with my son. He's 23, graduating from college, very proud. But when I was pregnant with him, first I got pregnant. First they implanted 6 eggs, and 4 of them took. And I was like, oh, my God. I was at Planet Hollywood, and I told Bruce Willis, oh, my God, I'm having quadruplets.
Right.
Beat that for a headline. And I was so excited, but then I started to lose them, you know, and they put me in this thing where I absorbed them, my body absorbed, and there was only 1 egg left there, and it was kind of hanging, didn't know whether to come or go. So they did me on this biofeedback deal where I'd say, I want you to stay into this machine. It was, and it...
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked, but the deep spiritual thing of that, it started to heal all the parts of me that were crazy and out of control.
I noticed
because I learned to focus and I learned to meditate, and that helped me a lot with therapy.
You were very
and medication.
And medication, and you said and you really embraced
and
your
I had a
Jewish
great
faith.
shrink. Well, I've always been very religious since I was a little girl. Like, did I say this? That I grew up in a apartment building full of Holocaust survivors, and every Friday they would come over to my grandma's apartment. My grandparents owned an apartment building. They brought 50 or so survivors from the camps, and that's where I grew up. And every Friday they'd all come to
You
my...
had family that was in Auschwitz, and they had tattoos.
Yeah, they all had tattoos. And they would say terrible things to me when I was only 3, and they would tell me the things, and I mean, it was too much for my mind to handle. And then they would make me watch the Eichmann trial too, and I was only 3. They go, she needs to know it was little girls like her that they did this.
Was it on TV?
Yeah, the Eichmann trial. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so that split me emotionally, deeply. It was a horror to me, and it still is a horror to me.
A lot of evil in the world.
Yeah, but there's so much love. That's what I was going to tell you, Sean, but you were going through all this trash.
I didn't even get to anything.
Oh, go ahead. But
no,
I'm going to tell you.
I want you to tell your story.
Sean. You've been a good friend.
I want you to tell your story.
I'm going to tell my story
like this.
When I go outside now, I was so scared to go outside because I'm like, everyone thinks I'm a racist. You know, and I live on an island where it's all brown people. I'm like, oh, hell, you know. My daughter says every day people come in and they're like, we know who your mom is, and all these things like that. And I go out on the street and people just rush up to me to tell me they love me and they don't think, you know, what happened was balanced to the other people that do worse things and say really mean things that aren't political but are just mean. And I'll tell you, it blew my mind because I'm like, man, I've never felt this kind of love from people. It has been overwhelming. It's just, I just thank them. I tell them, you know, if it wasn't for my fans, I probably wouldn't even be walking around. It was just devastating. To be misunderstood is the worst thing. And I want to sing that song. Oh, Lord, please don't let me be I want to sing that because now I have a band. I've always wanted to sing.
I saw you sing the national anthem.
Shut up. That wasn't good.
That was not good.
Did you see my follow-up, though? I bet you didn't because you're in the news. Oh. But I did a follow-up,
Beat the host
Sean.
up.
I followed up that.
You grabbed your crotch and spit.
Well, that's what the stupid pitcher told me to do. Oh, and they all are deserted like rats off a ship. But I was trying to make him laugh. He said, that'd be so funny. I go, okay, I'll do it.
Right.
So I did it, and it wasn't funny, and I learned a lesson. never take comedy advice from a picture.
You really, it's important to you, and I remember when I first
I want people to like me. I don't want them to hate me. I like them.
You wanted people, this is what you said to me. You said, this is not me. This is what you said, the exact words you said.
It's not me, not the picture they painted.
Then you said to me, you said, I want people to know who I really am. That's what you said to me.
I know.
So here's, you know, there's going to be a lot of people watching because you're here tonight. Tell those people who you are.
Well, I'm a creative genius, and this is not a good feeling for an artist to be treated this way. And it's not a good feeling for a citizen either. And here's who I am. I'm somebody who cares about civil rights. I reject what you call me. You call me racist, I don't accept it. I know who I am, and I'm not a racist, and the people who voted for Trump, they're not racist either, and Trump isn't a racist, sorry, but, you know, we just have a different opinion. We all want the same thing, though. We want people in the inner cities that are living in feces, and I'm talking about my son goes to school in San Francisco, I go up there. I don't just blab and run my mouth. I live my beliefs. I want people to know that. I live my beliefs. I try, and of course I fail, but I try, and I get back up and try again.
I don't want to interrupt you every second because I want you to speak in your own words, but yeah, listen, PC is sickening.
It is. It's not American, and I started.
You said I live around brown people. Like, for example, would you not say, why not say African American people? Or
I live around African American people too.
Yeah.
I live in a real neighborhood. I don't live behind gates with bodyguards. I live in a real neighborhood of working people. I chose to do that.
You know, I was going to ask you about all these other past controversies, but you know what?
I've made a lot of mistakes. I live my life out loud. You know, I do it. When things are going too far right, I'm going to go a little left. And when things are going too far left, I'm going to go a little right. Because I like balance in the middle. I like middle America. I like the middle way. I like the middle class. I like the middle opinion that balances two extremes. Most people in America, I think like that.
You know, it's funny because a lot of people, I think a lot of people misunderstand what motivates me. And what motivates me in this 2016 presidential election, for me, was about what we call the forgotten men and the forgotten women. You know, a lot of people don't know, and I've still, some people that watch the show regularly know, I was a paper boy at 8, dishwasher at 12, cook, busboy, waiter, bartender. I painted houses, I hung wallpaper, laid tile, framed, fell off a roof 3 stories doing roofing. That was decades of my life. And I never thought I'd be in this position. I'm very thankful for it every day. But those people, we had at the end of 8 years of Obama, 13 million more Americans on food stamps and 8 million more in poverty and the worst recovery since the 40s and a 51-year low home ownership rate. And he doubled the national debt and accumulated more debt than every other president before him combined. So it's not politics because Republicans are weak. They are pathetically feckless, weak, and spineless.
Well, I don't know.
A lot of them.
A lot of them are because there's only one party. Come on, they all golf together. They're not like on other sides. They're pocketing public money.
There are a few good people, not a lot.
Look, they're all taking the money. Every side, both sides, every place, they're taking the money.
It's a swamp. Washington, D.C. is a sewer. There's no doubt about it.
But that's our money. That's the people's money.
And Roseanne talks about Donald Trump and so much more as we continue.
FoxNation.com and sign up now to be the first to find out more.
And more of my exclusive interview with Roseanne Barr. Look at you, and I look at your success. I mean, 9 years as, you know, a top hit show, and then to come back in this environment where there's cable and Hulu and Netflix and everything else in that environment, and you get this massive audience. And tell the story when this all went down with ABC.
Which story? Which part?
When they first called you, they had asked you, first of all, to get rid of your Twitter account.
Yeah, but I said to them in the beginning, I'm never going to stop defending Israel and the Jewish people.
Right.
Because that's me. I was raised that way, and that's how I learned, and it's very important to me. It's central to my life. Mm-hmm. So they said, okay. So anyway, I did what I did, and then they called me, and they said, what possible excuse could you have for this unforgivable and egregious tweet? And I said, what do you mean exactly?
You didn't know?
No. You could knock me over a feather when they said she was African American. My boyfriend saw it. I was like, what? I thought she was Middle Eastern. Anyway, well, because, you know.
But is it wrong to say any comparison to...
Compared to what? People, they've lied about my tweet from day one. Yeah. They said, she says she looks like... I never use the words looks like.
You don't use politically correct terms. Like I heard you earlier in this...
I'm not going to either, because it's sickening.
What do you want... Now that ABC has gotten rid of it, and America's going to hear you tonight... What is the future for Roseanne Barr? What do you want to have happen? For example, ABC is now kickstarting basically the Roseanne Barr show.
Well, I walked away from that show. I just want to tell you this. Yeah. I walked away from that show despite the fact that I had a contract which protected me from if I got in trouble with tweets.
It said that in your contract?
Yes.
And they didn't pay you?
Well, we can't talk about that, but I was allowed under my contract to have 24 hours to correct any mistake. And I asked them to let me go on The View and their other shows and explain and correct that I didn't say what they were putting out there. And, you know, they said, no, you can't till the contract's ready, and that took weeks.
Right.
But anyway, I walked away.
You felt bad about your staff. I did see that.
I didn't want to cause anybody to lose their jobs. I'm for working people. And that one really stuck. And I was like, well, I'm not, I could fight this because they didn't give me the notice or the chance to correct. But I'm like, no, it's going to be part of the repentance. I'm going to just walk away.
I want to ask you about that. You signed off on this reboot without you. What is it called? The Conners?
I think.
Did you have to sign off on that to allow the people to work?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
You were glad to do it?
Well, I thought it was part of the, you know, what was put before me to do.
And you also...
I think God gives, what God puts before me, I do. I don't anymore try to argue or win. I just do what's in front of me.
Part of this to you is you said you want to make amends towards... I think it's recompense.
Yeah, you have to give money.
That's part of your faith. So recompense to you over
money
this
is the action you take in the physical world to make something better.
Explain that, though. Recompense in this case is what?
Well, I can't say that because it's secret. You're not supposed to tell people what you do.
Just give us a hint.
Well, I gave...
Just so people know. I think people should know.
Well, I told Shmuley. But, you know, I gave to several things. African-American things, yeah, which I do anyway, but I gave a little bit more. And colleges. And
to help people.
Yeah, because I've helped a lot of people go to college. And they can't get a damn job, and they're in debt, so they're not really grateful for me to do that. But I also have you know, I wanted to go to the poorest place in America and see how I could help there. Because, you know, the poorest place in America, the poorest place in the richest country on earth, let's put it that way. And I have 4 years tried to help families there. And that's Pine Ridge Indian Reservation and Rosebud Indian Reservation. And I kind of have... You know, I just expand my family, and when I love people, I take them in as, you know, I include them in my circle, because family's not just about blood, it's about soul, you know?
I still don't understand. Did you adopt African-American children in your family? You said you have in your family.
Oh, no, I do. I have a dear friend whose son is my godson, and they're African-American. And... man, it was hard, you know. He called me right away.
What did he say?
He said, I love you no matter what you do. And I was like, but man, I need to be understood here. Because I just have to say this. If people think, I'm saying it to them, if you really think that at the height of my power and my fame, I would go, black people look like, it's just, I wouldn't do, I'm not stupid. And that's what they keep selling. And now they don't even, after they misquoted the tweet for weeks, now they don't even include it, and they just go, Roseanne's racist tweet. And they just keep shoving it down everybody's throat. I love all people that say that. I love everybody. I include everybody in my circle. I put my money where my mouth is because I'm not a racist. And I decided that this was going to move me to do my own interviews on my own YouTube channel. And on there, I'm doing serious subjects and talking to interesting people who I don't 100% agree with. But we find common ground. And I think that's what America needs, and that's what I was trying to do on my show.
A lot more with Roseanne Barr. Would you like to get back in TV, sitcom?
Only if there's nudity.
And you're going to be the nude person on the show?
But so far they refuse.
So far they refuse. I don't know if you get that on a network show anyway, but I think on YouTube you can do whatever you want.
I just like talking to people and discussing, what do y'all think of this? What should we do? How can we make this better?
You obviously cared enough because you ran for president twice, right?
Yeah.
And obviously you care a lot about these issues, but you're right. Your politics have changed dramatically.
Yeah.
And
because I read more.
Like, what changed you? What books? What shifted your political views?
Well, my experience in the Green Party and in socialist parties, I just felt very marginalized there, and that I didn't belong because they don't like Israel. And I was like, what? This is the worst place on earth? I've been there. Have you been there?
Oh, yeah, many times.
It's a wonderful place.
I'm the biggest supporter of Israel on television.
No, you are.
Yeah.
But it's a wonderful place with problems like every place else. I put a lot of thinking into solution. I used to say, I do a lot of thinking, and I have a solution for it. And it is, I've always been saying this for like 20 years. I think that if grandmothers, from Arab grandmothers, Jewish grandmothers, Drew's grandmothers, everyone who lives over there, grandmas, if we could get together and write up a grandma's treaty and then present it to power, I think that'd be the fastest way to solving problems, because there's no child on this earth that should go to sleep in fear and danger.
And hungry.
We have enough money to fix
enough food,
it.
too.
We do. We have enough everything.
I agree.
Except love. So I'm a...
Well, there's a lot of evil in the world. You kind of rejected that earlier, but
I wrote a whole book about that evil. I'll send it to you. I know you did.
Deliver us from evil.
Well, mine was you know how people I say, get rid of your hate, get rid of your hate. But you're supposed to hate evil.
You know, I have an idea, and I'm just going to throw it out at you as I listen to you. I think you obviously are very sincere in saying, I want to have a conversation. We need to... And I think the country's never been this divided. And
it's stupid, because we got to get our money back from both sides.
Yeah, we
have to talk to each other. Yeah.
You should go, Roseanne and Friends show, and what you should do is just stand up.
Yeah, I want to do that.
And then invite a guest and have a real conversation. I think that would sell out in theaters all around the country, and I think it would be good. And invite Valerie Jarrett to go with you.
I would do that, because we could turn this into a really great teachable moment where there's a lot of synthesis, because that's why you have conversation, so that you can synthesize your ideas and come up with a solution. And I'm tired of no solutions, Sean. That's why I like Trump, because I think he's a solutions person.
We have a lot of, the country has gotten dramatically better, and I actually said on the air, I think if he cured cancer, at this point, and gave every American $30 million, they'd still hate him.
But I think they're coming around. His stuff's going up, his approvals.
You seem to have had a really tough, brutal life. I haven't asked you about Tom Arnold yet. You still love him in a lot of ways, or no?
Huh? Did you say, do I still love him?
Apparently not.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Did he call you?
No. Hell's no. No, that's 25 years ago.
Oh, I know.
That's 2 husbands ago, Sean.
I'm sorry. How many total? I'm sorry. I'm not keeping up.
I'm on my 4th one. This one's my longest one, 16 years.
Yeah. It's going
I don't know
well?
why he still likes me, but he does.
I heard he caught you smoking, and you
Well, he
didn't know.
opened the
How did you
Yahoo.
hide it?
Well, because I wore the rubber gloves and a hat, and I go out in the alley, you know, and then
And he didn't know. He didn't smell it.
I'd be wiping
Perfume.
wild rosebuds on me. And no, he didn't know, and I lied. And so on top of all this other stuff,
Yeah.
so he opens up the Yahoo, and there I am smoking in my mom's alley. And he came in, he goes, because he knew, you know, that I'd kill him if he made me mad.
Let me ask
He
you,
goes, sweetheart,
Yeah? You lied.
you lied to me
Ouch.
about smoking, didn't you?
What'd you say?
Get on it!
Here's the question I have. In all my years on television, there have been controversies.
Yes.
Recently, Samantha Bee, she still has her show.
Yeah.
When Bill Maher got fired at ABC, I said, I'm not in favor of boycotts. I think people, when they make mistakes, have a right. I think the American people are fair.
I do, too.
The American people are good. Forget the media. Forget the people that write stuff. I don't care.
I think that's why they turned into my show 28 million.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to see something balanced for once.
Yeah.
Every other show, it's like 24/7 hating on Trump, and I call it patriotism. That's not going to help nothing. People want to hear the balance, so they want to hear the truth. And anything that isn't based on facts and data and is pure emotion, that ain't right.
So you're going to do stand-up? Maybe you can add to your stand-up a serious
I like that
part
idea.
of it, right? Do your stand-up, then you sit down and have a conversation with somebody maybe you disagree with.
Sean, I got to tell you one thing before you kick me out of here.
I'm not kicking you out. You can stay as long as you want.
I really appreciate you being such a good friend to me through when I was hiding in my mom's basement.
I remember.
And I found cigarette butts from when I was 13, and I used to smoke. And they were damn good smoking.
You smoked them again all these years later?
Yeah, they were good.
I remember when cigarettes were 50 cents a pack. That's how old I am.
No, they were 27.
Okay, you're much older than me then.
Yeah. But I thank you for the friendship, and you helped me through it a lot. So did a lot of other people out there. I just thank you so much for walking with me when I was like in a real down place. Thank you.
More after this.